Welcome back to Pierre Hedary's Mercedes Classics, and today's topic is the York compressor versus Sanden Rotary compressor debate. So if you own a Mercedes 280, 280 SL, 280E, 280 SE, SEL, 6.3, etc., you probably have an AC system that used or is using a York twin piston compressor. Now, the general consensus is that these old York compressors are big and heavy and clunky and should be replaced with a modern rotary compressor. Well, I agree with you to an extent, but then again, I don't, because the York compressor was one of the best compressors ever designed. I know it sucks a lot of power, I know it's heavy, but by going on eBay and spending about $80 on parts, you can pull your York compressor out and reseal it. Then you don't have to spend a bunch of extra money making a goofy bracket or trying to make new AC hoses or any of that other stuff. I mean, you know, and so this is what we do. So if you go to Motoring Investments, Bud's Bins, a bunch of other companies, typically if you want good air conditioning, they will install a York. They will take the York off and put this Sanden on that mounts in kind of an interesting looking bracket and requires, you know, a few extra hours of installation. Now, I personally think the Sanden looks like crap, but I hate it even more because of the way it mounts. Instead of the bolts going through the side of the compressor into the bracket like they do on a York compressor, the bolt holes for the compressor go alongside the compressor and they end up going alongside the bracket. A bolt goes perpendicular into a bracket, not next to a bracket, just so you know. The bolt should intersect the bracket at a 90-degree angle. So you have to end up machining these goofy brackets with spacers and all kinds of stuff to make a Sanden work. Now, on a few occasions, the Sanden rotary compressor was supplied as original equipment. On some 123s, Mercedes made a kit to put a Sanden on post-production that you could buy as a Mercedes part. This is commonly seen on Euro 240Ds, a few M110 engines, etc. That doesn't make it any better. The Sanden, the other problem with it is it just does not have the capacity of the York. The York compressor, when you are sitting in traffic in a 98-degree day in South Florida in your 300 SEL 6.3 or even your 240D, is a godsend, because if they're healthy, they make really freaking cold air at idle. Whereas the Sanden, after you get about 20,000 miles on it, the Chinese Sanden compressor wears out and quits making cold air and doesn't really do its job. And so with the York compressor, while you'll end up with 35 to 40 degree AC on a decently warm day, or even 52 or 53 degree air conditioning on a 100% humidity, 104 degree heat index day in Florida, with the Sanden, it'll just sort of blow a wisp of lukewarm air at you until you get moving down the road. And it's all because of refrigeration capacity. It just doesn't have it. Now, on the 300 Adenauer we worked on, we put a Nippon Denso swash plate compressor on. This is a part number from a 560 SL. I know that because Mercedes put this on as a factory part, in other words, when the car was leaving the factory and they put it on as a factory part, it was probably okay. And so therefore, I felt that I could use it because I didn't have room for anything else, but a normal person would have put a Sanden on. I guess my message in this video is, if you have a York compressor and you're thinking about replacing it with a rotary, think again. Take your York compressor off, put in a new front seal, disassemble the compressor, change the gaskets, fill it with R12 or Freeze 12 or some drop-in R12 replacement like EnviroSafe, and there are plenty of them out there, and use wax-free mineral oil, which you can get at any Napa store, and you don't need an AC license to buy it. Wax-free mineral oil is compressor oil. It is good for this stuff. Change your expansion valve, flush your system really good, and don't put R134 in, don't put a Sanden on. Just keep your car the way it was designed, because this stuff actually worked. It worked in 1965, it worked in 1985, it still works today. And if you have any questions about how to make your York sing and hum again, then let me know. And in the meantime, keeping your car original is a good thing because original stuff works, and York compressors were designed in the USA during the 1960s, and the Americans actually overbuilt parts instead of made them as chintzy as possible, and that's why I love the technology. It's old technology, but it is durable technology. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you own a Classic Mercedes, then you might want to tap the bell for notifications. Also, if you feel that there is any way that we can help you, please support us on Patreon and send us your questions. Now, you will get your questions answered regardless, but questions from Patreon subscribers typically get answered as quickly as possible. So, it is worth it. And in the meantime, enjoy driving your Classic Mercedes Benz, and we hope to see you at Amelia Island the first weekend of March. I hope I got that right. For Cars and Coffee, we will be there. Get your Mercedes ready.